Welcome to the castle, everyone. This is Nightsaber Z42, and this is Character Vault, a series where I go through the entire character creation process from start to finish in various role-playing games. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Star Wars: Age of Rebellion. If you're looking for an Edge of the Empire or Force and Destiny character tutorial, then I have videos for that too. So this one will be specific to the Age of Rebellion. It should be noted, however, that there are very few differences between these three books, so even if you're looking to create a character for Edge of the Empire and you're still watching this video, it will still work quite similarly. There's just a few differences. So let's open up the book to the character creation chapter and let's get started. The character creation chapter begins on page 39, but before we begin, there's a couple of things that we're going to need. First is the character sheet. If you go to swrpgcommunity.com, you can find all sorts of character sheets that are both fan-made and official. The official ones do come in just a standard PDF form, and there's also the fillable forms. So if you're looking to create a character that's completely online, you can use those as well. The character creation chapter goes through the process of creating the character, of course. And at the very front, you're going to get a description of all that is involved. So first, we're going to determine the background of our character. Then we'll determine their duty, select a species. Then we'll finally select a career and specialization, and then invest in some experience points. We'll determine our derived attributes after that, and then we'll determine our motivation, and then we'll get to choose our gear. At the very end, we'll talk with the other players and acquire Rebellion resources. For now, let's head into our character's background. So for the concept of our character for this video, I've decided that I wanted to have some sort of an ace pilot who kind of joined the Rebellion to help protect the one he loves. Like, his love interest probably joined the Rebellion for some reason, and he decided to follow them. Duty is something that is very specific to Age of Rebellion. For this one, I did go ahead and roll off camera with a D100, and I rolled up a 77, which is space superiority. As the combat victory-driven PC feels about troop conflicts, so this PC feels about ship-to-ship combat and naval engagements. To him, the war will ultimately be decided in the stars, and what the Alliance lacks in sheer numbers, it more than makes up for in the quality and tenacity of its pilots. Every single space battle is an opportunity to show the rest of the galaxy that the Alliance not only can win the war, but is destined to do so. The core rulebook for Age of Rebellion includes 8 different species to choose from, like the Bothan, the Droid, Duros, the Gran. We also get humans, which are standard across all of the core rulebooks, Ithorian, Mon Calamari, and the Salustans. For this video, I'm going to be choosing the plain old average humans as my species, mainly because I can see this character needing to infiltrate some Imperial bases, possibly as a spy, and so it really wouldn't fit to have some sort of another alien species do that, because the Empire is pretty much exclusively humans for the most part. So we're going to hedge our bets on that. Being a human does have its perks though. Our characteristics are straight up 2 across the board. So in this game we have 6 characteristics: brawn, agility, intellect, cunning, willpower, and presence, and they are all at 2. Our wound threshold will be 10 plus our brawn score, whatever that ends up being. Our strength threshold will be 10 plus our willpower, whatever our willpower ends up being. We also get 110 starting experience to use. And we also have a special ability. We start the game with 1 rank and 2 different non-career skills of our choice. We still cannot train these skills above rank 2 at character creation. So when we're creating a character, none of our skills can go above rank 2. The core rulebook includes about 6 different careers to choose from, and each of the careers has 3 specializations within them. These specializations are really tech trees, so you can purchase different talents that each have a different cost, which we'll get to in just a minute. So our actual careers to choose from include the Ace, the Commander, the Diplomat, the Engineer, the Soldier, and the spy. There is a different career, so to speak, or specialization. It's a universal talent tree, so anybody can actually spec into this, and it is the recruit. Given our background is to be an ace pilot, I'm definitely going to be choosing the ace as our career. And since we're going to be a pilot, I'm also taking pilot as my specialization. But let's rewind just for a minute, because we do get some things when we choose ace as our career. We actually get access to 8 career skills, and we're going to mark these as career skills, so when we actually want to upgrade those skills, it doesn't cost us anything more to do so. Our 8 career skills are astrogation, cool, gunnery, mechanics, perception, piloting planetary, piloting space, and ranged light. So we'll go ahead and mark those as our career skills. In addition to that, we do get to choose 4 of those skills to gain a free point in. Now remember, we cannot upgrade a skill past 2nd rank. But the 4 that I'm going to choose for now are astrogation, cool, piloting space, and ranged light. So those 4 are getting marked up to rank 1. In addition to that, the piloting talent tree gives us access to a few extra career skills, and those will be astrogation, gunnery, piloting planetary, and piloting space. Skills that we already have in our career, but still, we get to choose 2 of those skills to gain a free point in. And I'm choosing gunnery and piloting space to get that free point. So that means our gunnery is now up to rank 1, and our piloting space is actually rank 2 now, so we can't put any more points into that. Now comes the difficult part of this entire process. We have to invest our experience points in either improving characteristics, in skills, acquiring talents, or acquiring new specializations. Each of those have different costs to them. For example, we can spend experience to increase characteristics. This can only be done at character creation. This is going to cost 10 times the purchase rating in experience. And each rating must be purchased sequentially, by the way. So you can't go from 2 to 4 with only spending 40 points. You actually have to buy rank 3, which is going to be 30 points, and then rank 4, which will be an additional 40 for 70 points total. We may not raise any characteristics above 5 during character creation. We can spend experience to purchase ranks and skills, and this will be 5 times the purchase rank in experience. Each rank must be purchased sequentially, of course. Now, if we decide to purchase a skill that is not a career skill for us, it will cost an additional 5 XP. Now remember, we still cannot raise any skill above 2 during character creation. We can also spend experience to purchase talents within our specializations. And each of the different talents has a cost to it. Under the Ace Pilot talent tree, the first row is going to be 5. The second row will cost 10. Third row will cost 15. Fourth row will cost 20. And then the bottom row will cost 25 experience points per each of those. And we can only purchase a talent if we've already unlocked the previous talents connecting to it. So in order to get Dead to Rights, I have to either get Skill Jockey or the 2nd tier Skill Jockey. And last but not least, we can spend experience to purchase new specializations. And this will equal 10 times the number of possessed specializations, including new specializations. Non-career specializations cost 10 additional experience. So if I want to spec into something like a spy or a soldier, my 2nd talent is going to cost 30 XP. If I, however, want to buy a different specialization within my own career, for example, gunner, that will only cost me 20 for now. Now, let's say that we need more experience to purchase things during character creation. Well, there's actually a way to do that. So we've already set up our duty at the very beginning of the character creation process. But we can also change that as well. If we take -5 duty, then we'll get +5 starting XP. Likewise, if we take -10 duty, we get +10 starting XP. This also works with credits too. If we take -5 duty, then we can choose to gain 1,000 extra starting credits. And if we take -10 duty, we can get plus 2,500 starting extra credits. Now, you can only purchase each of these once. That means I can only get a maximum of plus 15 starting XP for -15 duty. It should also be worth noting that we cannot spend more duty than our original starting value. So depending on how many PCs are in the party will actually be the starting duty per player. So if you're playing with 4 people, that means you're going to have 10 duty to use. Because I don't exactly know how many people are going to be in my party, I'm going to not worry about this specifically. I'm not going to worry about the duty value, and I'm not going to worry about spending duty to increase my XP or my starting credits. So we'll move on from that. Something that I do recommend all players do at this stage of the character creation process is to improve your characteristics, mainly because this is the only time when you will actually get to improve your characteristics, aside from getting the dedication talent at the very bottom of pretty much all talent trees. You can also get cybernetics to increase characteristics as well. That's going to be after a while. So for now, I would recommend at least putting some points into improving your characteristics. And with that, I'm actually going to increase my agility from 2 to 4. That means I will be spending 70 experience to make that happen. 30 to make it to rank 3, and then an additional 40 to make it to rank 4. I'm also going to increase my intellect to 3 by spending 30 experience. So that's 100 experience out of my 110 gone down the drain right there. So with 10 extra XP, what can we get? Well, if we go to our talent tree, I'm actually going to spend 5 points to get Skill Jockey. So this will remove a setback die per rank of Skill Jockey from piloting planetary and piloting space checks. And I'm also going to go ahead and invest in Galaxy Mapper, which will remove a setback die per rank of Galaxy Mapper from astrogation checks. Astrogation checks also take half normal time for us. And with that, that's actually all 110 of my experience points spent. So let's move on to our derived attributes. Our derived attributes will be our wound threshold, our strain threshold, defense, and then soak value. Those 4 different attributes we're going to determine here. Although I will straight up tell you, your defense is most likely going to be set at 0 because that's influenced by armor and things like that. So our wound threshold for humans is going to be 10 plus our bronze score, which is 2. So our wound threshold is 12. Likewise, our strength threshold for humans will be 10 plus our willpower score, which is 2 again, so 12. Our soak value is going to equal our brawn, and that is set at 2. So our soak value is 2. I should also tell you that your soak can also be increased by armor. Next will come our motivation. If you want to roll for this, you will need a D100. The D10 will come in useful for determining the motivation type, and then the D100 will actually come in handy for the specific motivation that you're rolling for. I did go ahead and roll for this off camera, and my first roll was a 6, which is connection, and my next result, I actually chose specifically the love interest to kind of help fit the background that I have with my character. Next, we're going to go ahead and choose our gear. We actually have 500 starting credits to purchase gear and equipment. Although if you decreased your duty from earlier before, you can actually increase that to a maximum of 3,500. With 500 credits, I'm actually going to purchase a light blaster pistol. That'll cost 300 right there. I'm not going to opt for any of the armors shown here, but I am going to go ahead and get a space suit. It doesn't give any soak or anything like that, but hey, being out in a ship and in space, you're going to need something like that. So I went ahead and bought a spacesuit for 100 credits. In addition, I'm going to need a comlink, so I purchased that for 25 credits, and it's always nice to have macro binoculars, especially if you're going on scouting missions, so I went ahead and purchased that for 75 credits. So that, in total, is 500 credits right there spent. The very last thing to do in character creation is actually something that should be done with other players. And this is to acquire your Rebellion resources. Now there's actually 3 to choose from, like a commandeered Lambda class shuttle. This is a Empire specific shuttle that you've commandeered, and you can use it for stealth missions, spy missions, and things like that. There's a Y-Wing squadron, so you can actually choose a small number of Y-Wings equal to half of the number of PCs in the group rounded up, and since I'm the only one right now, that would equal 1. Or you can get a base of operations, and you'll actually get additional resources provided by a base of operations. Each PC in the party starts with an additional 1,000 credits worth of starting gear. I'm actually going to go with the Y-Wing squadron because I'm an ace pilot. I need a ship, preferably one that goes shooty shooty blasty blasty. So we're going to go ahead and get a Y-Wing. And with that, that's actually it. So let's take a look at the character sheet that we have. Here I've got the character sheet for Zed Jaren, a human ace pilot. He is 29 years old at 5'7". This is the official character sheet, by the way, so it does come with 2 pages. Oh, we'll get to this 3rd page here in just a second, though. So in 2 pages, we have everything that we need for our stats, our attributes, our characteristics, as well as talents, and things like that. So our soak is 2, our wound threshold is 12, and our strength threshold is 12. We have no defenses because technically we're not really wearing armor, we're just using a spacesuit. Our bronze score is 2, our agility is 4, our intellect is 3, our cunning, our willpower, and our presence are also at 2. For career skills, we have astrogation, cool, mechanics, perception, piloting, planetary, and space, gunnery, and ranged light. I took 1 rank in astrogation. Computers was given for our human. We get to choose 2 of them, and that was one of them. Cool. Leadership was another extra that I took because of being a human. I took 2 points in piloting space and 1 point in gunnery and ranged light. We do have a light blaster pistol, and that's going to be using the ranged light skill. It does 5 damage with a crit of 4. You can use this at a medium range, and it does have a stun setting. For our motivations, we have connections, which is our love interest. Someone that we love is actually in the rebellion, and so we kind of are pursuing that person. For our duties, we have space superiority, and I went ahead and put the magnitude at 25, just because there isn't really an official solo version of that rule, but if I'm playing with some other people, that's probably going to be much lower. Our starting credits are 76. Now, you do get to roll a D100 for any pocket change that you have after you've purchased your gear. So I went ahead and rolled that and rolled a 76. We do have our light blaster pistol, a spacesuit, a comlink, and macro binoculars. And then we have our 2 talents. So we have Skill Jockey, which removes a setback die per rank on piloting checks. I also have Galaxy Mapper, which removes a setback per rank on astrogation checks. It also makes astrogation checks take 50% less time. In addition to that, we also have a Y-Wing. I went ahead and printed off the official vehicle sheet for Age of Rebellion. And so we have a Y-Wing that has access to 1 hard points. These are upgrades that you can put on your Y-Wing. Has an encumbrance capacity of 10. Its silhouette is 3. Its speed is 4 with +0 in handling. It does have 2 shield points, one on defense and one on the aft, but you can actually move those anywhere by spending an action to do so. It has 3 armor with 12 hull threshold and 10 system threshold. It has access to 3 weapons like the twin light ion cannons, and I actually kind of rephrased that because the titles for these weapons are like super long and you only get this much space. But the twin light ion cannons has a forward firing arc, has 5 damage, you can use it in close range, and it has a crit of 4. It is ion, but it also has linked 1. We also have the medium laser cannons, which are forward arcs. It deals 6 damage, used at close range with a crit of 3. It only has linked 1 though. And then last but not least, we have the proton torpedo launcher. This has a forward firing arc that deals 8 damage, can be used at short range, and has a crit of 2. It also has access to blast of 6, breach of 6, guided 2, limited ammo of 8 rounds, linked 1, and slow firing 1. Its crew complement is 1 pilot, can carry no passengers, has consumables for 1 week, and a class 1 hyperdrive with no backup. Its sensor range is close. We don't have any attachments or anything like that, so that is blank, and we don't have anything on our cargo hold for now. And so really, that's it for creating a character. Feel free to leave a comment down below, give this video a huge thumbs up to support this series, and subscribe if you would like to see more. I will see you guys in the next video.